right before I started posting again, I was off for a week in a silent prayer and meditation retreat by myself at my house, which I do often. Sometimes I'll go for a couple weeks, sometimes I'll go for a month at a time. I think the longest break I took was like 6 months or something. So yesterday I came home, I went for a quick little walk, and there were two men pounding at my door, and my contractors that were here alerted me to the men pounding at my door. So then I just kept walking, and my friends were on their way. They were bringing me lunch. So instead of us enjoying lunch in my backyard, because there were people pounding at my door again, we just went to their house. I turned my phone off in the car on the way there because I always know when it's time to ground and recenter. So I just took the day with my friends. We had some healthy vegan food. It was fucking really nice. We listened to music. We watched, I forget what the movie's called. One of the kids' name is Bruno, but it's not one of the ones that's like, we don't talk about Bruno. They're like little sea monsters, but it was super cute. I played with their daughter. It was absolutely amazing. And then I came home and I had a bunch of gifts, and then I got a good night's sleep, and then I woke up and I'm laying in bed waiting for the contractors to come back to finish my balcony because my fortress is being built. I'm going to cover that with bougainvillea all the way around so that when I look out in the morning, I just see flowers, 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 flowers. Do I want to say anything else? No, but man, I feel amazing. I'm just happy I wasn't here when so many more cops yesterday showed up to my house. Somebody called the cops on this guy who was sitting outside of my house in a van with his dogs. He literally drove an hour and a half just to make sure I was okay. And the neighbors kept walking by his van on the phone with the police. My neighbors called the police because his dogs were barking. They literally walked by his van and they were like, see, do you hear it? My white as fuck neighbors called the cops on a guy sitting in a van because his dogs were barking. Hey, see? Put the phone down. You'll feel amazing. I also met this guy, Alejandro, and he lied to me, and that made me sad. He Snapchatted me without asking my permission and sent it to his friends. And he didn't know I know that. Of course I know that. Of course I know. You know who else lied to me yesterday? It was my mailman. As I was leaving my house to go for a run, I've met this man before because he scolded me on not emptying my mailbox soon enough. So he's met me before. And as I was leaving, I saw him reach for his phone, almost as if I have eyes in the back of my head. So I turned around, I said, oh, do you want a picture? And then he like let go of his phone really quick. And he said, oh no, do you live here? Do you live here? And I was like, I don't know. Do you think I live here? And he said, I don't know. I've never seen you before. I'm just curious if you live here. What's your name? And I said, what do you think my name is? You just delivered my mail. I found out yesterday I was on TMZ again. I actually didn't know. I haven't been on Twitter, Instagram. I haven't turned on my TV. I haven't been like searching the news at all. But just like Brit, hey TMZ. I'm sick of my friends and I being bullied all the time by my white, rich, entitled, godless neighbors. One of the first things I wrote in my newest journal, hey neighbors, please accept this letter with peace and love. The way I've chosen to design my home and garden has everything to do with me and nothing to do with you. I've noticed a theme in my life lately. No one actually knows what I do for a living, and no one ever really asks. My name is Gabrielle. I'm an artist. I write music, perform, design, write, paint, dance, build, daydream, plan, sing, play instruments, produce music, invent products, freelance for artists, find ways to clean the earth and raise money to put back into the world, talk to myself mostly. I'm from a small town in Pennsylvania, mostly tell people the Pittsburgh area. My dream my whole life was to buy a home somewhere beautiful, somewhere I could feel safe, somewhere to make and share art all day. I have a lot of anxiety issues, including social. I don't like to talk much to other people. I communicate differently than most people, so I prefer writing. I also get anxious about living alone, and all I really want to feel is peace. Anyway, I just wanted you to know that every project I do, I consult with professionals. Everything I do will solve a design, functionality, or safety issue, usually all three at the same time. I will continue to respect your boundaries and privacy. I thank you for continuing to respect mine. Gabrielle the artist. And then a poem. All of that in summary, I'd rather hate an enemy. Oh, that would be a shame. I surely hope you feel the same. Dear neighbors, I just want to lay pussy out in my pool. My pool? I just want to lay pussy out in my pool and get fucked in my jacuzzi. This was like way at the end of another video, so I just want to say to the top of this one, my neighbors called the police on a man in a van because his dogs were barking, and the cop showed up pounding at my door yesterday because a man parked outside of my house's dogs were barking. Can you guys wake the fuck up and stop abusing our city's resources that our tax dollars are paying for? You called the cops on dogs, and I had to pay for it, you bitch. Believe it or not, guys, it doesn't take that long for me to take these TikToks. Like, oh my God, she posted 100 TikToks. She's manic. It's at the tip of our fingertips. I literally open the phone, press a button, and talk. You guys have been talking about me all day, and I've been talking to you all day. Are you manic? Because you guys have not shut the fuck up about me. I'm doing something productive and creative. Are you? Or are you just talking about my art? My house cleaner is such a fucking angel. Let me tell you what somebody else in my neighborhood did to her. So we alternated Tuesdays. We were only using her every other week. So one morning at 7 a.m., she knocks on my door and she was like, do you mind if I come in earlier today? Because the person who is also using me as their cleaner is telling me that it's not my week. And I knew it was her week because I alternate with her and she was just at my house. So my neighbor gaslighted an immigrant woman who is literally the sole provider of her household for her disabled husband. She gaslighted her. She took the bus all the way out here at 7 a.m. to clean her house, and my neighbor turned her away. Don't worry, I took her in, doubled her hours and days, and gave her a raise, of course. God bless you. Hey, Officer Albert Burke, I believe. Why did I get a thing about ongoing 911 abuse? I haven't called 911 once. Check the records. I haven't called 911 once. In fact, if you'd like, I can show you the footage of every single time I asked you to please stop coming to my house and to ignore them. So why don't you go to my neighbor's house who called the cops on the dogs? Literally, they called the cops on the dogs. 911 abuse? The colored girl in the suburban area? So would you rather the kind colored girl stay in the ghetto like you want us to? Should I just stay out of the nice, beautiful neighborhood with the wonderful school district for my children to avoid the assholes? Nah, I'll be good. Sure. I rewrote the 10 Commandments so they were a little more understandable for the modern times. 1, love first till forever. 2, be careful you are who you idolize. 3, don't take my name in vain if you're wise. 4, rest at least once a week. Why not Sunday? 5, respect your elders, including your highest self. 6, don't kill anyone or anything except your ego. Okay, kids? The ego and the id. 7, your neighbor is hot. So is your wife. Stop looking at me, pervs. 8, give to receive. 9, don't lie. 10, jealousy is a disease. Achoo! God bless you. Only angels welcome here. Only good angels welcome here. And these are just 10, not mandatory, but highly recommended rules to be happy for eternity. Thank you for asking, Jamie.
I went to Norway. Hope you had a great time, W God. Walking W him etc. this week. He is so good. YESSS. Mom made the nature though, don't forget her. Never. Gabbie, ever since I made my tour about doing more missionary work, God has been giving me a lot more shows. I'm talking every day it's a new show in a new state or city. Ever since we talked on Monday. But I know God is going to do the same thing in your life too. No coincidence. He already is, homie. My life is poppin', haha. You don't want fans who are turned off by God anyway.
I just privated a TikTok that I made earlier because I said something about doing it the right way and the smart way and having my home and then my kids. And then I read some comments and people were saying like, you know, I had kids at this age and I seem to be just fine. Isn't that da-da-da-da-da? And then I realized, you know what, that was really like judgmental of me. I was triggered because I do feel really judged by a lot of people that I don't have kids yet. And I know why I don't have kids yet and why I chose the path that I did. But that's still no excuse for me to insist that other people did it wrong. Because truly every single baby is a miracle, no matter what stage of life that it comes in. What I meant by what I was saying is I really hope to be able to lead by example for the future of our mothers and our children, because the way society and time puts pressure on us, there's so much pressure. I've been really open with the fact that I'm bipolar. My therapist who diagnosed me with bipolar 2 is also bipolar type 2. And she told me, why do you keep treating mania like a bad thing? Did people tell you mania was a bad thing? Because mania is just a heightened sense of energy. So I, instead of misfiring my manic energy that I was blessed with, decided to focus it into things that could actually create change. That doesn't make me a perfect person, but it makes me a lightning rod. So if I can harness the attention of major news outlets and reach the world whenever I want at my fingertips, I decided to talk about what matters. And that's what I'm going to be doing for forever. And I'll also still do fashion and makeup and self-care shit too. So if you lie to somebody to have sex with them, whether you have a wife and you didn't tell them, or you have an STD and you didn't tell them, if you lie to someone to have sex with them, it's rape by coercion. So when a stranger came to my door, shaking, saying he was confused and needed a restroom and asked if he could pray with me, and I let him in my home for those things, and then it turns out that he was lying and he was just trying to exploit me and film and make fun of me and get content, and he still, from what I hear, is making content about it, or at least was, that is breaking and entering by coercion. He entered my premise on false pretenses. That is a break-in because he lied to me and took advantage of my kindness and trust to get into my home to hurt me. I gave the 5 cops who broke into my house literally moments after he left. I thought when they broke into my house and did an illegal search and arrest, I thought that they were doing that in relation to that situation because it happened one after another. I barked at him to get out of my house. I came up, set my alarm for the arm stay alarm. So then all of a sudden there's all this banging downstairs. My glass break alarm goes off and then my critical alarm goes off. And I'm just in my room literally shaking and crying, having no idea what's going on. I thought that he was breaking in and then I heard this loud bang. And in my head I was like, was that a fucking gunshot? So what I thought happened was I kicked him out. He broke back in. I have a private patrol company. I pay money for armed patrol, and they are a godsend. So what I thought happened was he broke in. My armed neighborhood patrol came in and shot him. That was my immediate thought. And then I heard them calling me, Gabrielle, Gabbie, are you here? So then I went down there. They cuffed me and detained me after they did their illegal break-in and search. They wouldn't tell me why they were holding me. They brought 2 psych evaluation people who deemed me absolutely fucking sane and gave me resources. But the cops, before they left, gave him his full name, because I asked him his full name. And then I gave them the video, showed them his face. They looked up his profile, found his profile online, and they promised me they were going to go find him. And then the next day, when 2 other officers broke into my backyard as I was sitting and just trying to fucking relax again, I said, you keep coming here to check on me. I keep telling you that I'm okay. Did you go find the man who broke into my house yet? And they said, who broke into your house? No one broke into your house. They didn't even fucking try to find him. They didn't even fucking try to find him. Thank you.
The water cycle takes the water and moves it up and down and all around the earth. The water cycle takes the water and moves it up and down and all around the earth. The water cycle takes the water and moves it up and down and all around the earth. The water cycle takes the water and moves it up and down and all around the earth.
Evaporation comes when the heat from the sun warms up all the groundwater, then it turns to water vapor. Condensation takes over, it goes up to the clouds. Water vapor cools down and it changes to a liquid now. Precipitation happens when the drops get big. It falls like rain, snow, sleet, and hail upon my head. I know it's the water cycle happening again. Evaporation, condensation, precipitation.
California wouldn't be in a drought if the citizens weren't so stingy about their water bills that they'd rather have grass, lawns, and crispy flowers.
All around the earth, the water cycle takes the water and moves it up
Clean water is a God-given right. No one should ever have a water bill. Every single person on this earth will have access to clean water for free soon.
Takes the water and moves it up and down and all around the earth.
Evaporation comes when the
You're hoarding all the
heat
water
from
in
sun
tanks in the
warms
ground.
up all
That's
the
why we're in a
groundwater,
drought. What,
then
Mom?
it turns to water vapor. Condensation takes over. It goes up to the clouds. Water vapor cools down and it changes to a liquid now. Precipitation happens when the drops get big.
Oh no, climate change is mega fucking real. That has nothing to do with the fact, well, it actually has everything to do with the fact that people don't understand the water cycle and how the fucking ecosystem works.